Fairy Tales reading
Cowboy John Black and the Lost Horse Bolt. The sun had almost disappeared beyond the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange, as Cowboy John Black finished setting up camp at the base of an old canyon. He was tired after a long day of trekking across the prairie, but he wasn't worried. His loyal horse, Bolt, always kept pace with him. Bolt wasn't just any horse. He was as fast as the wind and brave, though sometimes, like anyone, he could get scared. John busied himself with lighting a campfire while Bolt peacefully grazed nearby. In the distance, the leaves of solitary trees near the canyon rustled softly. However, the calm of the evening was soon broken by an unexpected, strange sound. Somewhere deep in the canyon came a loud growl, as if a massive animal was warning that someone had entered its territory. Bolt suddenly lifted his head. His ears twitched, and his eyes scanned the area in alarm. Before John could react, the horse reared, neighed loudly, and bolted into the darkness, snapping free of his tether. "Bolt! Come back!" John called, but the horse vanished into the night, leaving only a swirling cloud of dust behind. John slowly got to his feet, dusted off his pants, and looked at the hoofprints, which were already fading into the shadows. "If you think I'll give up that easily, you don't know me yet," he muttered, adjusting his hat. Tracking Bolt. Morning found John already on the move. He rose early, ready for the search. First, he carefully examined the ground. The hoofprints led toward a river. Humming a song he usually sang to soothe Bolt, John followed the trail. At the river, he came across a merchant fishing by the water. "Have you seen a chestnut horse with a white spot on his forehead?" John asked. The merchant scratched his beard. "Maybe I have, maybe I haven't." A horse ran toward the forest. "But be careful, Cowboy, it can be dangerous in there." "Thanks for the warning," John replied, and continued on his way. Adventures in the forest. When John entered the forest, the air grew cooler, and the sunlight barely pierced through the dense leaves. Birdsong filled the air, and somewhere in the distance, branches creaked softly. John walked carefully, keeping an eye out for signs of Bolt. At one point, he noticed trampled grass and a piece of bark gnawed off a tree. "Bolt, that must have been you," he said with hope. Soon, however, he reached a muddy area. John's boots sank into the sticky ground, making every step harder. Just when he thought he might get stuck, he spotted a long stick lying nearby. Using it for support, he managed to pull himself free and continued onward. Deeper in the forest, he encountered a pack of wild coyotes. Their yellow eyes gleamed in the twilight as they watched him intently. John knew he had to be cautious. Instead of panicking, he pulled a piece of dried meat from his bag and threw it far away. The coyotes dashed after the food, allowing John to move on. Finding Bolt. Finally, John heard a familiar neigh. He quickened his pace until he reached a small clearing. There, in a deep ravine, he saw Bolt. The horse was trapped, his leg tangled in roots, and he looked exhausted. But that wasn't all. Circling the ravine was a wolf, clearly contemplating whether Bolt would make an easy meal. John didn't hesitate. He pulled out his lasso and began to swing it. Seeing the spinning rope and hearing John's loud voice, the wolf got scared and ran off. John approached Bolt and gently began to free his leg. "It's all right now, buddy," he said softly, stroking the horse's neck. Bolt looked at John with big, grateful eyes and nuzzled him with his nose. Return to the prairie. When John and Bolt emerged from the forest, the sun was shining brightly in the sky once more. John climbed onto Bolt's back, and the horse began to trot slowly. "I knew I'd find you. We never give up, right, Bolt?" John said, Bolt neighed softly, as if to answer, a never. From that day on, John and Bolt became even better friends. Their bond grew stronger than ever, and people in the area would say they were an extraordinary pair. Even when things get tough, never give up. If you are brave and persistent, you will always find a way to help your friends. And true friendship is the greatest treasure worth protecting.
Fairy tales reading? Subscribe to our channel to hear more.